I know that we speak about the sure mercies of David and we sing about it, we talk about it, the mercies of the Lord are new every morning and all of that. But I'm here to also say that as much as God is merciful, his mercies are new every morning does not mean that you sin every night because you want to receive new mercies every morning. And as much as God is a merciful God, is also a just God. And the Bible even further buttresses this by saying, God is not mocked. What a man soweth, he shall reap. Mercy can prevent you from eternal damnation. Mercy can reduce the effect of the earthly consequences, but does not get rid of the consequences of your action. There's the just side of God, and there's also the merciful side of God. So today we'll be using one of my favorite biblical characters to expound or speak more on this, and I hope that we all get the memo. We understand more deeply after this conversation. And the biblical character is not the person but David, the man after God's heart. So today we'll be talking about the dark side of the man after God's heart. But before we move to the dark side, let's hail this man. David was such a great man. He was a warrior, a king, a priest, a psalmist. Have you heard of the mighty men of David and the great exploits they did in the Bible? Even the movies that they are writing today are yet to keep up with the kind of exploits. When one man can kill 800 men in one encounter, like, no, let's even digress much, but they did mighty things. And aside the great exploit, David is a king, a psalmist, a warrior. One of the favorite thing I liked about David was his broken heart. Like Psalm 51 verse 17 says that a broken and a contrite heart I will not despise. David was such a broken man. He knew how to run to God when he did something that was not good rather than run away from God. David was also someone that reverenced God a lot because David was a skilled warrior. But despite being skilled, if he wants to go to war, he used to ask God for strategy. Should we run? Should we overtake? Even when they took his wife and his children, he asked, should we pursue them? Are we going to overtake? Are we going to attack? Are we going to recover all? An average person that is skilled in their business or in their secular job would not ask that, okay, what should we do? Most times because you're skilled and you have done it repeatedly, most times people don't ask for strategy. You're working a 9 to 5 and you do like the same thing over and over again. An average person will not ask, God, how do I do this today? Because you feel you are skilled enough. But David was not like that. Despite being skilled, he still revered God to ask for his opinion daily. And I think that's one thing that we should learn from it. So David was such a broken man. He was someone that showed God that I can't do without you. And I believe that's why he was called the man after God's heart. So now that we've hyped David, let's dive into our conversation for today. The dark side of David, the man after God's heart. In springtime, when men went for war, guess what David was doing? He was sitting in his balcony. He was chilling. And they saw a woman that was in a period of purification, Bathsheba. He saw Sheba and it was like, see this fine girl, must you wait on door? See where she's glowing. Told his men, get that girl for me. When kings were at war, David was warring with another man's wife on his own bed. So after enjoying his moments, Bathsheba obviously went back to her house. After a while, she realized she was pregnant and sent a message to David. David was like, nah, I got to cover this. Nobody can know. Nobody's ever gonna know. And David sent a message to Uriah, Bathsheba's husband, to come and be with his wife. This man came. And David told him, go and enjoy, go and be with your wife because he wanted to cover up his sin. And guess what Uriah did? Uriah said, no, I can't do that. The Ark of Covenant and the men are at war. So I can't do that. I can't be with my wife when people are fighting. So it's integrity and loyalty that killed Uriah last. After he refused, David also got him drunk, trying to make him live with his wife. But even in his drunk state, Uriah did not go and be with his wife. So David sent him back to the war, carrying his own execution letter. David sent a message to Joab, the chief commander, to put Uriah where the war was fiercest and withdraw. So they did what David requested and Uriah died. So David killed his own man with the sword of the enemy. And he was able to fulfill and satisfy his loss to the fullest way. He took Bathsheba, Sheba baby, his wife. And after months passed, God sent Prophet Nathan to him. And Prophet Nathan came to meet him and told him a parable. That there was one poor man that had just one lamb. And there was a rich man that had a lot of sheep, lot of properties, lot of goods. And he took the one and only lamb that poor man had. And David was like, who is that wicked man? You should be punished for that. He was all angry and all of that. And Prophet Nathan told him, you are that man. He now clocked the message and knew that Prophet Nathan was referring to him, and he asked God for forgiveness. He said, I have sinned. I like the way David used to quickly admit. He said, I have sinned. But Prophet Nathan prophesied that, yes, you did this one secretly, but someone will live with your own wives publicly. He also said the sword will not depart from David's home, and that's how everything started. The first thing that happened with David was, one, the result of the fornication, which was a child, died. David fasted, he prayed, he did everything, but the child died. Then Amnon, David's son, liked his half-sister Tamar, and the Bible said he loved her so much. And he did not know how to be with her. So his cousin Jonadab told him to lie to his father that he's sick and he wanted Tamar to come feed him. His father obliged, and when he got Tamar to come and cook for him and feed him, he told all the men to leave. He laid with her. And the Bible recorded that he hated her more after laying with her than he loved her. You know how sad it was? Then he chased her, he told them, he threw her out of his house, and the girl left bitterly. And the Bible recorded that she was desolate all her life. David heard about all of these things, but he was angry, and I feel like he would have taken more actions as a father, which he didn't. Absalom, Tamar's elder brother, was looking for a way to revenge, so he waited full years when everybody has forgotten about it. Told David I wanted to treat the men, the king's sons, and David was a bit skeptical, but eventually accepted. And Absalom told his men to kill Amnon. That was what he just wanted. And the rest of the king's men fled, but Amnon died and Absalom also fled. After a long time, after a while, after Absalom fled, Joab, the chief commander in army, realized that David missed a son, so he looked for a way to ensure that Absalom came back. So Absalom came back but rebelled against his father, overthrew his father. His father ran, left the palace, and Absalom became king. David ran away and left Jerusalem, but Absalom was with his father's wife. He laid with his father's wife publicly on a roof. You know, David did his own secretly, but Absalom did his own publicly. Maybe he wanted to cement his reign as a king. That's why he did that. But he laid with his father's wives publicly, not wives publicly, his father's concubines. Eventually, David and his men got hold of Absalom. Absalom was killed, and David was even mourning his son. Oh my God, my son Absalom. I know I just paraphrased the entire story. If you want to read it, just go to, I believe the story started from 2 Samuel 11 to 18. I believe that's when Absalom died. So, do you know what David lost in all of these things? He lost the child they conceived as a result of fornication. He lost Amnon. Tamar was more or less a living dead, and he also lost Absalom, his son. And the concubines, he left them. The Bible says he didn't touch them till they died. So those ones were just like left on their own because of what someone else's son did. But you can see that the measure in which he sinned, he fornicated and killed Bathsheba's husband. But you can see the ripple effect he had on him. He did with one wife. His son did it with his plenty wives. And he did his own secretly. His son did his own publicly. He killed one person. The sword did not depart from his household. You can see his ripple effect. You know when the Bible says, give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together. We always think that it's always money. Sometimes it's the wickedness you sow. Sometimes it's the mercy you sow. So whatever you give, most times is ripple effect that would come. David sowed killing one man. He reaped about 4 people or 3 people in his lineage died. He sold laying with one wife, all his concubines, all his own wives, like his concubines that he left at his palace when he fled, all of them. His son laid with all of them. He did his own secretly. His son did his own publicly. So you can see he came with like an higher measure. I'm saying all of this to say this. Actions have consequences. Why we can learn from David to run to God when we do things that are not necessarily good. We can also learn to flee from sin. There is seed time and there is harvest time. Give and it shall be given unto you. Most times we use it for offering. It's not just offering. Give mercy and it shall be given unto you. Bible says, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Give honor and it shall be given unto you. Give wickedness and ripple effects, it shall be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So whatever you give, if you want mercy, give so much mercy. If you want wickedness, they seed time and harvest. God is no mock. What a man soweth, he would reap. I hope we take all of these things. So as much as God is a merciful Father, he is also a just God. Bible says, can we continue to sin and ask that grace will abound? Conclusively, the mercies of God saves us from eternal damnation, can even reduce the effect of the earthly consequences, but does not totally save us from the earthly consequence. Unlike David, whenever we are caught in the web of sin, the best way out is to run to God, and his mercies will wrap us and embrace us. But doesn't mean that we should intentionally sin or continue to sin, because God is merciful, and I hope we get the memo. What's your take on this? Do you think we emphasize mercy more than justice? You can drop your take in the comment section. And if you watched till this point, I'd like to say a very big thank you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you like this or if this was a blessing to you, you can like, share, you can subscribe, and see you on the next one. Until I come your way next time, don't forget that I love you, but Christ loves you more.